Which is another topic we didn't talk about, especially in football on the JV level in public high school. They wanting to have perhaps interns or not the doctors themselves come out, but that could be dangerous.
Please. Okay, Farrell needs to make a first down or two. Get out of this hole.
On their own 5.
Chew up some clock at the same time.
Watch out for the dreaded turnover, which could really hurt Farrell. They say that only because it's been prevalent in this game. Ferraro, they go to the man who's been working well on the ground.
Gets about 3. How many punts have we had today? One? One punt?
Yeah.
One punt in this entire game.
And that was by Brendan Mooney of Farrell. Back in the first half, clock moving. Farrell, of course, in no hurry.
Well, they better get Mazza better get him out of this huddle, though. He better not.
Right.
He better not take too much time at the line of scrimmage because it's been a while. It's been a while since the whistle ended the last play.
They go from an eye. Gio are in motion. Get it off. It's Pedraza with a nice hole to get Farrell some breathing room as Randall Joseph to beat. And out of bounds at the Farrell sideline. Gets congratulated by Lou Baldessano and the rest of the Farrell coaching staff.
Well, John Petraza really has had a Jekyll and Hyde afternoon for Farrell.
Yes.
I mean, that's his second spectacular run and second big run. And at the end of the day, we're going to see John Petraza probably close to 100 yards, even though most of the time he has done nothing. Over 100 already.
Wow.
Well, he had the 54-yard run. And
that was about 27.
Right.
First and 10 from the 35 gives Farrell breathing room and can work on the clock. Ferraro, and he's going to be dragged down, and a big loss. Number 77 is Kwame Scott.
Well, that's the most damaging offensive play call that Farrell's had today, and that's Ferraro, who had great rushing stats up into that, just lost a half a mile on a poorly executed reverse play.
And back to the sidelines goes Frank Mazza for instructions of a next play. Take a look.
He lost 14 yards on this.
Wow.
And he had about a 9-yard loss, and he tried to spin out, and there's another 7 or 8 as he tries to get out of the grasp, and Farrell all of a sudden finds itself second in a country mile, and Maz is going to have to complete a big pass here if Farrell hopes to keep possession of the football.
2nd and 25 on the 20. Ferraro in motion. Plenty of time for Mazza. Short pass is complete to Chris Ustick, number 82.
Tech doesn't care about that. That's just a 3 or 4 yard gain in the flat. That doesn't hurt them at all.
Gain without 1 for foul.
It's going to be 3rd and 24. Seven minutes and 2 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Not only, and the clock is running, he did not go out of bounds, so it's under 7 minutes. The clock continues to move. That's the only positive for Farrell on that last play. Good time for Mazza. Now the pressure coming.
Oh, this is well set up.
Past Pedraza is...
good pursuit, though.
Well, guess who came back and got that?
Pope Marius.
That's who.
At 285. That's a tremendous pursuit play by a guy that I think we're going to
see our second punt of the game now.
We're going to be hearing about him in college, I believe.
Brendan Mooney.
Brendan Mooney, number 84.
And a little confusion by Tech here on their special teams. I wonder if they have enough players on the field.
They have only one player back. They might be going for it. Randall Joseph at his 35. Mooney at about his 10. They're sending... Oh, they call timeout.
Timeout Tech because they have too many on the field.
And that's really tough because now they burn a timeout trailing by 5 when they could have used that on offense. Each team has 2 timeouts remaining.
John, as we approach near the end of this game, and we certainly are far from
6 minutes, 1 second.
Far from deciding who's the winner. As we said at the beginning, Phil Bellino, a Brooklyn Tech graduate who played against Farrell in the early 70s, has donated these beautiful plaques, and he'll be coming into the booth near the end of the game as we announce our Gibraltar Transmission Player of the Game, one for Tech and one for Farrell, and I'm pretty much decided on who my Tech player is going to be.
Right.
I think the Farrell Award is still pretty much up for grabs here in the last 6 minutes.
That's still tough. We'll wait and see. As Joe and I are conversing of who we think for Monsignor Farrell. All right, 6 minutes and 1 second left in this third quarter, and now Brendan Mooney with the punt. Still Joseph back, the only player back. He moves up to his 40. Oh, that's going to be offside. Unless someone moved for Farrell on Brooklyn Tech, although just bringing up 5 yards more.
Yeah, it'll give Farrell a little more room if Farrell did get them to jump, but it's still going to be 4th and 9, and Farrell will still have to punt. Yep, it is offside against Brooklyn Tech. And I think you're right, John. I think you made a good observation. I think that Di Benedetto's coming after this punt. He's got 10 people going at the ball and only one person back, but that aggressive attitude of coming after it has made them jump offside. That'll take a little bit of their jump out of them on the snap.
A little high there, Vitucci, and Wallace almost had it, but Brennan did well to get it off. It takes a Farrell bounce. Joseph at about his 35, and he
does a good job.
Yeah, gets for about 9 or 10 on that return.
Does a good job of staying in bounds and picking up about 10 yards. Nice job by Joseph.
Bobby McKinnon gives us a stat. We mentioned the first half number is impressive for Frank Mazza. He's only 3 for 4 in the second half for 15 yards. However, the one big stat, the glaring one, he has the winning touchdown pass so far. That one touchdown for the lead for Farrell to J.P. Brennan. All right. Is this the last chance for Brooklyn Tech? 5:50 left. They've been doing it on the ground. They haven't been able to stop them yet on the ground, Joe.
They have 2 timeouts left. They wasted one before. Somebody's just been taken off the field for Tech for an equipment problem. Well, it certainly is the pivotal drive of the game for Tech, who should have scored last time, and they made mistakes around the goal line, and the Farrell defense came up big.
Start from their 45.
Oh,
what a hole.
Whoa.
Bertucci, Farrell sold out on Jim. I think they filled that on Ramal Lee running.
Yep. Bertucci just ripped off 20 yards. Bang,
it's too
right
easy.
Up the middle.
It's too easy. I've never seen a team run on Farrell like this.
You know, big Pope Marius is up front there, and I'm sure that when you have a horse like him, you run behind him, and that was his side, the left side. You watch where number 74 goes and lines up on offense. Here he comes, and again, he's to the left-hand side. He's the left tackle, and he is a huge man to run behind.
I'm running your way, pal. Just block for me. 285. 6'3". There's the option. There's Joseph. He's in trouble because there were 5 or 6 Lions there and only 1 Tech for blocking, and the 1 Tech was not Pope Marius.
Real good pursuit there by Farrell, but again, Randall Joseph picked up 2.5 yards on the play. He didn't have any room, but he puts his head down and he runs hard, and he makes something positive out of a play that was well designed. We had somebody just fall down here for...
It's number 77 for Brooklyn Tech.
You know what's happening? He's cramping up, John.
Kwame Scott, who made that great play on the previous
I think
play on defense.
I think he's cramping up. His legs are cramping up.
You've got players, I mentioned 5 players going both ways for Brooklyn Tech. He's one of them. You see that a lot in public high school.
Well, we've been kind of lucky. This is only the second time that Mike Marino's had to come out on the field today, which is great news. And it looked like Joe Manto is pretty much recovered from his little injury because he's back on the field for Farrell. So let's just hope that I'm right about number 77 for Tech.
Kwame
Scott, who looks like his legs just cramped up on him and he fell down.
And it gives Brooklyn Tech a chance to regroup now, this injury. We only had 2 punts in this game, and we mentioned Farrell's 30 yards. Brooklyn Tech 136 yards on kickoff and punt returns. That's, of course, the big 95-yard one in that 136 yards by Randall Joseph.
Yeah, I'm getting the Gibraltar players.
So he's okay. Goes down on the bench. Sits down for Kwame Scott. Mike Marino still attending him there, just rubbing the cramps, Joe. I think that's exactly what it is on the legs.
You know, he's a two-way player and an important part of their offensive line, and you always want your first unit, especially when you're trying to drive for the winning touchdown. So let's see if Farrell can take advantage of the new player on the offensive line for Tech, who looks to be number 65.
Should be. All right. Don't have it. That number, if it's 65, on 2nd and 8. Randall Joseph, not much.
And it was a nice play by Mike Marino, who we've called his name a few times. He fought his way in there and got Joseph around the ankle. This is 4-down territory, John, for Brooklyn Tech. They're not going to punt from here. They can't afford to, so they don't have to throw the ball here because they have 2 plays, not 1, to pick up the first down. Less than 4 minutes to go. If Farrell can hold them right here, they'll be in good shape. They'll force Tech to use all their timeouts, and
3rd and 6 from the 33. Pro set. Pass play. Middle screen, and it is intercepted. Intended for the tight end, Roger Knight, in and out of his gut, and intercepted by number 24 of Farrell, Mark DiCristoforo.
The captain on defense saves the biggest play for at the end. It was a play that, by the way, should have been completed. The Tech receiver was wide open. It's a little 5-yard pass, bounces off.
Wow.
Mark charges up from his free safety position and makes the play and the interception. And now it's just a matter of Farrell holding on to the football and making a first down or 2 and forcing Tech to use their timeouts.
Isn't it amazing how it was Farrell's defense who was really in trouble all game, and it was their defense that comes up with the big play anyway up until this point. Mark DiCristoforo, tri-captain senior. Roger Knight could not hold on. There's a flag down. Is it either on Farrell for delay of game, or let's see. Wait for the call by Joe Lattarulo, referee.
That's a tough call because Farrell is going to need at least 1 first down.
They have 2 timeouts, Brooklyn Tech.
To wrap this up. We've been joined in the booth by Phil Bellino of Gibraltar Transmissions, who we're going to let Phil give a comment or 2 as he's watched his alma mater play Farrell. And in a few minutes, we're going to be naming our players of the game for Farrell and Tech.
Game not over yet.
Ooh.
Nowhere to go on that run.
Now it's really not over because it's going to be 2nd and 15. I think Tech will probably wait 1 more play before calling a timeout. Remember, they had to use that 1 timeout
hurt them
early in the second half when they really didn't need to use one.
On
and
special teams, and they didn't have enough.
Really
too many
end
men
up hurting them.
Too many men on the field in a punting situation for Farrell. Ball on the 16. Excuse me, ball on the 18. 16 yards to go for the first down. Under 2 minutes now remaining. Ferraro picks up a good chunk of yardage. But now they need to call timeout.
He picked up a good chunk, but he didn't quite get the big play that he needed. Going to call timeout here, and Tech is down to 1 timeout, and we're coming down to a 3rd and 4. And Phil, if you want to step in here right now, Phil Bellino of Gibraltar Transmissions, who played for Tech in the 70s and decided to do something special for us today. We usually name 1 player. We're going to name 2 today, 1 for each team. We're going to name that in a few seconds as we come down to the end. We've seen a great game here today. And Phil, you brought up plaques for us, and we want to thank you for your support that you've always given us over the years. And I guess you're pretty happy with the way your old alma mater has been playing this afternoon.
Oh, I'm kind of real happy. It's been a real good football game for the fans to watch, and a real good football game for us to watch from up here. Looks like Tech's early down to the last couple of seconds here, and unless something crazy happens, you never know. You never know. It goes back a long time. Sometimes anything could happen. But Farrell's played a real good game. They're a very disciplined team, and they knew if they hung in there that they'd have the chance to come back like they did.
Okay. If the truck is ready, pretty soon we'll put up the plays of the game. But right now we have the most important play of the game. If Farrell picks up a first down, it sort of seals it. And if Tech holds them, Bellino's engineers will still be alive.
3rd and 4 from the 30. To the air. Oh, a sack. And who was it? Who was it? That big player? Yes.
Nope.
No, it was number 34. 34, not 74. It was Kareem Hickson. Kareem Hickson, the 6'2 junior linebacker.
Okay. First of all, we're going to give you the sack because Tech has just used its last time out, but with exactly 1:31 to go, Tech is going to come after this punt, and no matter what, Tech is going to have a chance to pull this out in the final minute and a half. And we're ready to name our Gibraltar Transmission players of the game. And for Brooklyn Tech, it's Randall Joseph. He ran back a 95-yard touchdown. He scored another touchdown. He's played very well in the defensive secondary. He's been all over the field for Tech, and Randall Joseph is our Tech player of the game. And our Monsignor Farrell player of the game is J.P. Brennan. He was the young man who hauled in that touchdown pass in the corner in the second half to put Farrell ahead. He had a touchdown reception in the first half. So with a minute and a half to go, Randall Joseph and J.P. Brennan of Farrell and Tech are our players of the game, and they'll be receiving a beautiful plaque thanks to Phil Bellino. And Phil, hang on, we'll try to get you on as Tech gets the ball back here with a minute and a half to go.
That is 48 is Randall Joseph. Mooney to punt at about his 10. Moves up to the 15. Good punt by Mooney, his best of the game.
Yeah, but Joseph's got room. He got lots of room.
It was a line drive, a good return. He caught it at about his 42. Gets across Farrell territory, into Farrell territory at the 40.
Okay, one more chance for Phil to give us his views. He's a little nervous pacing back and forth because Jim DiBenedetto, the coach, is a good friend of his.
Jimmy's a real good friend of mine. I think he's pacing back and forth worse than I am. This is, again, a real good football team, and I'm trying here not to root for anybody. I like Farrell, and I went to Tech, but I'm trying as best I can, but it's pretty hard.
We can't have a tie, Phil. Not the way the score is now. First,
here we go. Hold on.
40. To the air. There's the play that was an interception last time, and this time it's held onto, I believe, by Roger Knight.
And that was Mark DiCristoforo trying to make another big play for Farrell with a hit, but the ball was held onto. This was the play that was opened just a few minutes ago where the ball was deflected and DiCristoforo got the interception. That time, DiCristoforo makes a tremendous hit, but there is no fumble. Here we go.
To the air again. It's caught again by the big Roger Knight, who is 6'2", 200. Quickly through the air, it's Brooklyn Tech.
The clock stops as the referee set the ball. It's 1st and goal from the 9 with 50 seconds to go, and Tech has no timeouts.
Clock will move as soon as it's brought down. Ball on the 9. Option this time, and it's fumbled by Vitucci. He's got a fall on it.
Wow.
They got to hurry up.
They got to spike. They got to get to the line of scrimmage and spike the football because the clock is running. Same scenario as the end of the first half. Tech with no timeouts. Got to spike it. Stop the clock.
There it is.
Yeah, okay, that made sense. 3rd down and goal, 24 seconds left.
And this copyrighted cablecast is presented by the authority of Staten Island Cable and is solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publications, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, the descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of Staten Island Cable is prohibited. John Tassiello and Joe Nugent here at Monsignor Farrell High School. 24 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. It's going to come down to the end with Farrell only leading by 5, 27-22. 3rd and goal at the 9. On the 15, rather. 3rd and 9 on the 15-yard line. Here we go. To the air. James lofts it up. Batted down, up in the air, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted by Mike Carpinello.
I hope we got a replay of that because that was almost an interception, almost a reception, and then almost an interception all on the same play.
Wow.
And we're down to the final play on 4th down. But here comes the replay of a play that everybody's going to remember for a long, long time. A tip, and almost an interception in the back. It's 4th and goal.
At the 15.
Hold on to your hats, everybody.
Do you go to Randall Joseph on the ground, or did he go to the air to Roger Knight? In either case, you need to go end zone.
Where's Bertucci? He's very dangerous too, in the flat here in the left.
2 receivers to the left. Option with their strength. Joseph, he is going to be stopped. No, he's still on his feet. Let's see.
Oh,
whoa, whoa.
goodness,
I don't
they
know.
called his knee
Wow.
down.
Wow. And it's Farrell ball, and they'll win it.
And the Monsignor Farrell Lions have held on.
Wow.
I
I'd like to
think.
see a replay on that one.
Yes.
Let's take a look to see if his knee was on the
Now,
ground.
did Joseph's knee touch the ground? He wasn't going to be stopped easily. He's our player of the game. And yes, yep, he knew it too.
Farrell will win it.
And Farrell is 1 knee away from winning a 27-22 thriller, and this has certainly been a great one.
The first quarter, we had no scoring, Joe. 27-22. Farrell just needs to kneel, and the game is over.
And our congratulations, that young man that you just saw, Randall Joseph, our Gibraltar Transmission player of the game for Brooklyn Tech, certainly wasn't going to go down easy. I tell you, didn't it look to you like if that knee wasn't called down, he was going to get in there?
That would have been an incredible play. That's it. Farrell to the knee, and the final score, Monsignor Farrell 27, the Brooklyn Tech Engineers 22. You're all watching a high school football on Staten Island Cable. They shut him out in the second half. John Tassiello and Joe Nugent back here at Monsignor Farrell High School, where it was a very exciting opener to the 1995 high school football season. The Monsignor Farrell Lions score the only points of the second half on a touchdown pass to J.P. Brennan in the third quarter. They win it, come from behind 27-22. Although Joe, Monsignor Farrell did not score. They did not allow a score in the second half. The running game, they really did never stop, but luckily Brooklyn Tech did not score.
Well, Brooklyn Tech moved the ball very well in the second half, John. They really did, but they didn't put points in the scoreboard because once they got in the red zone, inside the 20-yard line, they didn't execute, and the Farrell team made some big plays. Mark DiStefano makes a great interception in the second half. He makes a big stick after a reception that was also a big play, and that pitch out on the that fumble on the pitch out as we came down to the end, and of course Joseph's knee touching the ground when it looked like he might go in.
Amazing.
Right down to the wire, and let's just hope that our whole football season on Staten Island Cable is like this one, because this was a great one.
All right, and Joe, next week we want to alert our viewers of what our game will be. Good luck to James Overton, as I will not be there. James Overton will be doing the play-by-play with Joe. Stony Brook versus Wagner College, and our first look at Wagner College football this year, and to be aired 3 times that night: Saturday the 16th at 7:30, Sunday the 17th at 1 p.m., and Monday September 18th at 7:30 p.m. on Island 16. Good luck to Joe Overton.
And we'll be doing 4 of Wagner.
James Overton, excuse me.
We'll be doing 4 of Wagner's home football games this year, so we'll be seeing a lot of Walt Hamline's team. And I would also like to have everybody tune in to Sports Close-Up on Thursday as we salute the South Shore Little League team and the South Shore Babe Ruth League teams that went to the World Series and the Eastern Regionals respectively. They had a great summer of baseball, so salute to South Shore Baseball on Sports Close-Up this Thursday, John.
All right, Joe, the first of 7 games remaining on our high school college schedule. The final score once again, Monsignor Farrell 27, Brooklyn Tech 22. I'd like to thank my statistician Bob McKeon and our entire crew here at Staten Island Cable. Once again, the final score, Monsignor Farrell 27, Brooklyn Tech 22. For Joe Nugent, I'm John Tassiello saying so long. This has been high school football on Staten Island Cable.